Are you having fun watching my videos? I hope you're learning something. I hope I don't go over the same thing time and again. But you know what? If you hear something from me a second time, a third time, every time I say it, it will lodge into your mind, I guess, that much clearer. So I guess I don't mind after all if I happen to repeat myself a few times. Well, now I got to get this 8-foot door back up into the opening, so I might as well get ready for that. There's my hinge pins. I got to get those back in my nail bag and get myself kind of set up. I might try this a different way. This is an 8-footer, and if you've been watching, I'm just putting my camera back on the tripod. If you were watching before, I actually installed a door, and I ended up using my little step ladder to get up in there. I'm gonna have to end up doing that, but this time, instead of doing the top hinge first, let's just see what happens if I do the second hinge first. That way I can lift the door up and put that one in. It seems as though this door is so tall, you know? I've got one hinge pin. I'll put that in my nail bag. I gotta be careful with this. And incidentally, when I work, I got a knee brace on. It's just protective. I had a knee injury years ago, and I have an actual back support brace on that I put on before my nail bag. Okay, and I do that just so it protects me a little bit. Now I'm going to lift this up, and I'm going to be just concerned about this hinge pin. Usually I start at the top. If this is a 6'8" door, I put the top one in, and I just stick it in about an inch or so, and that's all. But I'm going to try. I've already done this on a 8-foot door, but I'm going to get it started on the top. I'm going to put my first hinge pin, because see, I can just hold it right here, put that in, and line that up and push that in. I'm not concerned if that pin goes all the way down in. In fact, I don't want it to go in all the way, because then if I have to shimmy this a little bit, I could have a tendency of trying to beat that in when it's not in properly and bend the hinge pin. Last thing I want to do. Okay, so right now, I'm not even going to concern myself with the bottom two hinges. I'm going to get up there. I want to get that top one in first, next, actually. And then I'll worry about these others, okay? It's the hardest thing to do. I've seen guys, they start at the bottom, and they do one, and they try to tilt the door up into place. Have you ever seen that? That's no go. No. Because these are hollow, see, I can kind of move the door around at the top. I just kind of moved it over. And that's why I don't want to just take my hammer and beat these down, because the bottom ones aren't in place yet. I got those ready. I just want to slide this into position. I see what I have to do, and I'm just concerned about this one right now. Okay, let's see what I have to do to get this. There, right like that. Pull this one out a little bit at the bottom. I guess that's what I have to do. Come on. Come on. Usually it's not this hard. Oh, there. Okay, I got it. Let me see. I see, said the blind man. Oh, boy, this was harder than I anticipated, only because it's so tall. I get it close, and I might be able to get that. If I had somebody on the other side that could push it, but you see, I might have to loosen this pin and get it up a little bit higher so I can readjust this middle. Boy, usually it slides right in. Okay, I think I got it almost exactly where it needs to be. Okay, got it. All right. generally they're not that hard. Now I can start at the bottom and adjust that a little bit. Okay. Now I can tap. Now I got those. I can tap them in all in. If you feel comfortable, tap, 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 tap. Or I can take my cutters, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my cutters again, and I'm going to put it right underneath the head, and use the rest of this as to hammer on, so I don't get too close to the door. I'll get it down that far. And I can tap the rest in. After that. Okay. Pins in all the way. I can go up to the top because that's already started. A little bit of an effort doing an 8-foot tall door. Usually the 6'8" go in nice and easy. Basically, it's the same, pretty much the same process. Taking the door off and installing a new door. Even for front doors, I've even done those. I've even done doors up to 10 foot tall, believe it or not, solid core. And with those, it's a different type of animal altogether. Build a cart, push it, and I can do that all over. That's for like commercial doors. And I did that for years. And then it's just a different way to do it. You put a piece of conduit underneath the door at an angle, and then you tilt the door up off of the door dolly that you can kind of push. You run the door sideways, you can push it all around an office, down halls and stuff, and then you just tilt it up. You put that across there, you put it on there, and then you just kind of take it and tilt it. You can still get the top one on first, and then once you get the top one, you just kind of hit the bottom, and it wedges itself underneath your piece of 1/2-inch conduit. Sometimes the 1/2-inch conduit is not tall enough, depending how much the doors are undercut. And so I'll have a 3/4 inch piece of conduit, and I'll have a little end cap for it, and I'll put a 1/2-inch piece of conduit on the inside of that, so I'm all set. If I need to use 3/4, I use 3/4. If I need 1/2 inch, I do 1/2 inch. If it's more than that, I can put a ceiling tile underneath there, and then put the other thing. I mean, there's different ways to do it. You don't have to worry about that because this is residential. I'm just kind of giving you an idea of what you can do, what you can't do. Okay? That door is never going to sag again. You saw what I had to do in order to put those screws in, and that's why this door was sagging. It wasn't because of anything else, because other than that the screws and the hinge were loose. You'd be surprised. You go around your house and you might find a handful of screws that are loose, and especially for the top screws. If you got a door and a 6'8" door at your house, usually that top hinge is about right up in here. If that door is sagging, lots of times it'll be maybe your screws are just spinning and they need to be redone, like I just showed right there. And maybe that's why your door is sagging. You go around, you might find some of your screws are loose. And that's what I've been doing for these different doors. I've ended up working on 5 or 6 doors so far. And I spent a good portion of the day doing it. But I know they're now done properly. I don't have to worry about them. The painter's going to be here, and everything is done accordingly. And now that I got that hinge up there, everything's fitting up nice. I've adjusted the strike plate. You see the gap up there? There's a nice gap there now, isn't it? Before, if you looked at another video that I was showing previous, you would have seen that there was no gap right there from left to right at the top edge of that door. It was hitting. That's because that hinge was all loose. You know, got it all nice and tight now, don't I? You saw everything I had to do on that. And when somebody looks at this door, they're not really going to see that I did anything to this door, are they? Now granted, look, I've got some grubby fingers fingerprint marks on there where I lifted the door, don't I? So I've got some simple green. I spray that on there and I'll clean that off. That's that kind of stuff right there that you want to have cleaned off before the painter comes. See, I can see my fingerprints right there. Even if this door was not going to be repainted, would I be finished with this door? Absolutely not. You can see I've got goobers here, there. Do you see what I'm saying? I would not walk, and then up there, I would not walk away from this door. And because I lifted the door over here, I might have them over here, because see my thumbs were dirty from messing with the hinge pins. You see right there? Right there. That's from my hands. See? Right there too, where I picked it up and I moved it. Let's see, when you're working on your doors, and here's some more marks right there. My grubby fingerprints, because I had to take the door off. So before I work on any more doors, I'm going to wash my hand off and stuff. Just try to be aware of stuff like that. Take your simple green. And I do have simple green here, and I'm going to end up using it later for another reason, and I'll show you that on a different video. But I'll show you. Yeah, I came prepared. Where is it? Here it is. My simple green works for a lot of things. And I got all my cleaning stuff in there, and there's a reason why I've got that. And just for a little hint, white lithium grease. What on earth is that for? Got that at the store. I got that for a reason. And the simple green and my rags and stuff. I'm not entirely done with all these doors, even though all the stuff that you've seen so far, you think, my word, what else is he going to do with these doors? Getting ready to paint. Is he making a living off of working on these doors? See, here's another dirty fingerprint that I got on there. What is he doing? Doesn't he have something else to do besides messing around with these doors? Well, there's a reason why I've got one more step to do with these doors before I call them good. Okay, but before I do that, I've got one more door to mess with on hinges. And I don't know, I don't think I'm going to show you that one per se, but I got this one in the bathroom. And this particular door right here, I've got one more screw there that I have to attach, one more down there. And I can't get my drill in there at the angle. So because of that, you know what I have to do. I have to take this door down, and I'm in close quarters here. I'm going to take this off just like the other two doors. Yes, I've shown two separate doors on two separate videos on how to get that stuff down. I don't think I need to do another one. I'm gonna take these off. I'm gonna re-drill this so I can drill it in properly and get those other screws in there. Could I put a small screw in there and just say, okay, fine, I didn't see that, nothing's gonna happen? Chances are nothing ever is gonna happen if I put a little 3/4 inch screw in there and it's stripped. It just spins and spins. These other two will hold it. Those other two will hold it. If that was up there at the top, I'd be more concerned, because if this door ever sags, it's going to sag from the top hinges, the top 1 or 2 hinges, instead of the bottom 2 hinges. I just have this door is a 6'8" door, so it's got 4 hinges. So these 2 hinges down here, nothing's ever going to happen to those. But because I am who I am, I'm taking and I'm all, you know, I've got all the tools here. I've got my drill here. I've got the drill bits, the screws. I'm going to do it right. I'm going to get it done. That's just the way it is. Okay. Well, I hope you learned something on this video. Well, that's all I got for this time. But I'll be back with more videos.